Kind of difficult to do one-handed, but someone got to hold the camera right. What's up, y'all? It's Joe from Joe Fix It Vids, and on today's episode we're going to install a brand new set of 6x9s in this 2016 Nissan Sentra sitting right behind me. So with no further ado, let's get to it. Let's get the bumpty bumps right up in this piece. Welcome to the back seat. This is where the journey will begin. First thing you want to do is bring your seat backs down so you can access that back panel back there. So that's where we will start. Now to get these seat backs down, you want to raise that little lever right there. Raise it up, pull the seat down. Do the same thing on this side. Like magic. Just like that. Here's what it's going to look like when you have both seats down. And next, you're going to want to take off that little back panel across the top. I'll use one of these panel removers to take the panels and pins out, wherever they may be. One of these tools should help out. So I'm going to take my little tool, put it right in there, pry on that, and that thing went shooting out like a bullet. So did that one. Try not to break them. And that one. Once you've removed these three, just kind of pull on this a little bit. Just make sure it's loose. There you go. Something like that. You don't have to take it all the way off. We'll just pull back on it like that, because we're going to need it to get above this here in a bit. But first things first, we got to take off these side panels right here. That one. And that one. And how are you going to do that, you may be asking. Same way, we're going to take our little tool. We're going to find a good place to pry from. And we're going to pry this thing on out. Try not to break our tool too. Easier said than done, for sure. There we go. Now we got it. Easier said than done, but we got it. See, you got clips all along there. You got one right there, one right there, and the tricky part is this at the bottom. See all these little holes? They all got a place. They all tuck into these little tabs right here on this bottom section. So when you put this back in, make sure that all those little holes line up with all those, and pop all your little pins or push points back in place for a proper fit. Let's do the same thing on this side. See, this one popped out a little easier. It's kind of wiggle. You don't want to break it. Work your way down the top until the top ones pop. There we go. Now remember down here, you got to kind of pull out and push in. Voila. This is kind of difficult to do one-handed, but someone got to hold the camera right. So the next thing you're going to want to remove is your backlight cover. It's this thing. So once again, we will rely on our handy dandy little pry tool. Get under there, pry up. Once you got it pried, pull it up and pull it back. Now there is a connector on the bottom of this where your light is connected. So we'll have to find that and remove that before we can remove this completely. And there it is. Should have a little pinch point on there, or you can pinch it right there and pull the wire right on out. Pinch it, pull it back, take it out. Easier said than done. I see you being difficult. Okay, so to make a long story short, y'all, I had to take the whole thing apart. Hopefully I can get it back together. And pull the whole light out. Just so I can make the disconnection there. So yeah, that didn't work out as advertised, but we got it out. So let's keep moving forward. So the next thing we want to do is get this back panel up right here. So we're going to go underneath it and pull up. And there should be some tabs holding it in place. And just pop them up. Pop them up. Go down the way. Pop them up. Pop them up. Pop them up. Get it all loose. Get it all loose. Over here too. And we got the whole thing loose. Now we can take our seat belts out of their little holder. Seat belt out of the little holder here. Now get the seat belts out. This thing should be loose, and you can see the speakers right there. See the speakers right over there. We need to get this top panel off and out of the way. All right, so there it is. I just slid that top panel down since the seatbelt does go through it. Right here. I've just slid it down, so it's basically where the back of the seat would be right now. So there's our speakers. There's our old 6x9s. And we're gonna have to find what size these are. We'll take these bad boys off. So I took a wild guess, and I was right. They are 10s. So get you a 10 and get to loosening. Same thing over here. Careful with your windshield, your back windshield. You want to replace that too. Take all those out, and we should be able to pull out the old and come in strong with the new. Once you've got all your hardware off, you can remove that thing, and we'll have to disconnect it right there. Same with this one. Pop up, pull out, and we'll disconnect it right there. So you push in on it and pull down. So push in, pull down, and out with the old. All right, so before you install your new speakers, you want to take this padded roll here with the backside adhesive, and you want to line the outside of the ring of this speaker and this one with this padded stuff, sticky side down obviously, before you install them. And we will have to drill new holes because these holes do not match the factory holes. So we'll use a 1/8 inch bit to drill the new holes, and we'll use the new hardware that was supplied. All right, as you can see, I've lined the speaker with this padded, this little padding. That'll hopefully prevent some vibration when you're getting your bump on, you know, pounding down the streets and all. Next, we're going to drop them in there and mark our holes so we can drill some new holes. So I've set the speakers down where they're going to go. Next, I'll find a way to mark the holes, and then I will drill. Now I'm on the inside of the trunk, looking at them, making sure they're spaced pretty evenly, and I may have to bring the speaker down here and set it up there, and then find a way to mark my holes from there, because I won't be able to drill those holes from up top because the back windshield is in the way. So I may have to do this a different way. All right, y'all. So what I had to do is go inside the trunk. I had to lay in here facing up. I held the speaker up to where it's going to go. And I basically had the drill in the other hand and drilled the holes. Did the same with both sides. So now we got new holes. You can see the little hole up there. Little hole. Little hole. little hole, and that's where these new speakers are going to mount. So the hardware, the little clips that came with this, usually will go right around this, but ours has a little lip. See that lip? Hangs down, it's not flat. There's a little lip, so this clip cannot slide over like so. So we're just going to use these clips as the nut on the screw to tighten it up when we put our new hardware in there. And so next up, we will drop our speaker in there, line up the new holes with the holes in the speaker, and then put our screws through and go underneath and put our little clips on. Tighten them up and we should be good. Then we can make the connection and test them out. Alright, after successfully mounting the speakers, which was an absolute horror and a chore, it's time to connect these bad boys and give them a test run. So, this is your factory speaker wire here. See the green and the gray, maybe? According to this wiring information that was supplied to us by the good people at Crutchfield, this vehicle, rear deck, left and right speakers, positive green on the left side. Right is going to be white, red, violet, or long list of others. So I'm going to go with the left rear deck, which is where we're at. It says positive is green, yellow, or violet. Green. It looks green to me. So green is positive. With that said, they also supplied us with this wiring harness, so we don't have to splice any wires. So I'm going to take this wiring harness and connect it. Should be an easy pop in. Just line up the holes and slide it right in. There it is. Now make note of which side the green is on, because the green is your positive. So the green is going to be white in this case. So take your white. See the bottom of your speaker there? Right here is negative. You see a little negative indentation. Right here is positive. You can't see it because it's covered up. This is negative. This is positive. So we're going to get our positive cable and hook it up to our positive, which is right here. A little tight, but there it is. We'll take our negative, which is the smaller of the two, as you can see. It's another way to tell. Small, small, larger, larger. So you can't mess this up. Oh, well, yes, you can. Anyways, there we have it. Small, large, positive, negative. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Another wiring harness. Said orange is rear deck. Positive is white, red, violet and red, or violet and white. Negative is orange. So I'm going to say orange and white. Orange is negative, white is positive. Either way. Line up your holes. Like so. Pop this in here. Pop. Now, if you didn't understand what I meant earlier when I was saying one's large, one's small, look at the size of these two. And look at the size of these two little prongs, where they're going to go. See the size difference? The positive is larger, the negative is smaller. You see the little marking right there? Little negative marking. And you can kind of see the positive over here. Either way, hook up your negative to your negative and your positive to your positive. So, try not to break nothing. It is a tight fit. Don't force it. There it is. Now, our speakers have been connected. So, they're mounted, they're connected. I might come back later and cut some of these because they're way too big. They're sticking out. They don't need to be that long. Here we are. Let's test it out. Let's play some bump-diddy-bumps and see if we got any noise. And then we can start to put all this back together. Okay, so we just tested them out, and the bump-diddy-bumps are bump-diddy-bumping. So now we get to put all this stuff back together. Yay.